Imagine waking up a year from now with every major goal you set today accomplished, career advanced, finances improved, health transformed. That reality is not reserved for the lucky or the gifted, it belongs to those who master one discipline, setting clear goals with unshakable deadlines and pursuing them with deliberate action. Most people drift through life reacting to events instead of shaping them. They set vague intentions: I want to get fit. I'll save more. I'll start that business someday. But intentions without structure are wishes, and wishes fade. To turn the dream into a result, you must create a blueprint of precision, a map that pulls you forward and leaves no room for escape. This is the art of setting and achieving goals with deadlines, and by the time you finish this journey you will know exactly how to define your destination, build a plan, and execute until achievement becomes inevitable. The first truth is clarity. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. Begin by carving your ultimate outcome into a single vivid statement. Replace "I want to be healthier" with "I will run a half marathon on October 15th and cross the finish line in under 2 hours." Replace "I want to earn more money" with "I will increase my annual income to $75,000 by December 31st through a promotion or a profitable side business." A goal must be specific, measurable, and emotionally charged. If it does not excite you, it will not sustain you. Spend time alone, away from distractions, and ask yourself, what do I truly desire in the next 12 months, 3 years, 10 years? Write each goal in the present tense, as if it already exists, because the mind responds powerfully to statements of fact. Once the destination is defined, you must break the grand vision into achievable milestones. A mountain is climbed step by step, not in one leap. Suppose your goal is to write a novel by next December. Divide the work: outline by February, first draft by July, revision by October, final edit by November. Each milestone becomes a mini deadline that keeps momentum alive. Without these checkpoints, even the strongest enthusiasm fades in the face of daily distractions. Think of milestones as rungs on a ladder, close enough to reach, yet pulling you upward. Deadlines are not mere dates on a calendar, they are psychological engines. A goal without a deadline is a dream floating in indefinite space. But a deadline transforms intention into urgency. Human beings are wired to respond to time pressure. Notice how students who procrastinate suddenly produce their best work the night before an exam. Deadlines create what psychologists call constructive tension. The mind focuses, creativity ignites, and action follows. When you set a deadline, you compress your energy toward a single point, like light through a lens, and that focus can cut through resistance. To harness this power, attach a specific day and hour to every milestone. Instead of "I'll lose 10 pounds soon," declare, "I will weigh 150 pounds by June 1st at 8 a.m. Place that deadline on your calendar, set reminders, and tell trusted friends. Public commitment raises the stakes. When others know your timeline, you feel a healthy pressure to perform. If a goal is complex, create a cascade of deadlines, weekly targets that build toward the monthly and quarterly objectives. These small wins generate momentum and prove to your subconscious that progress is inevitable. Yet a deadline alone is not enough. You need systems, daily actions that bridge the gap between today and your vision. Imagine your goal is to double your freelance income in a year. Break that into habits. Dedicate 2 hours each morning to marketing. Contact 5 potential clients every weekday. Track proposals every Friday. Systems shift the focus from distant results to controllable behaviors. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, calls this falling in love with the process. Goals set the direction, systems create progress. Accountability multiplies the power of systems. Share your deadlines with a mentor, a mastermind group, or even a close friend. Consider the difference between whispering a resolution to yourself and announcing it to a trusted circle. The latter ignites what psychologists call social expectation. You will push harder because you do not want to break your word. Some people use public platforms, social media updates, blogs, or podcasts to broadcast their commitment. Others form private pacts, weekly check-ins with a partner, monthly reviews with a coach. Choose the method that fits your personality, but ensure that someone, somewhere, will notice if you quit. Equally important is measuring progress. What gets measured gets managed. Keep a journal or spreadsheet where you record daily actions and weekly outcomes. Numbers reveal patterns the mind can hide. If your goal is fitness, track workouts, calories, and weight. If it is financial, track income, expenses, and savings rate. Review these metrics weekly. Celebrate when you hit a milestone, analyze when you fall short. These small celebrations reinforce the behavior and keep motivation alive, while honest analysis exposes what must change. As you walk this path, resistance will appear. Fear of failure, fear of success, and the seductive comfort of old habits will whisper excuses. Prepare for them in advance. Write a list of obstacles you expect, limited time, unexpected expenses, moments of doubt, and plan how you will respond. This technique, known as implementation intention, primes your mind to act automatically when challenges arise. For example, if I feel too tired to write at night, I will brew a cup of tea and write for at least 15 minutes before deciding to stop. By deciding ahead of time, you neutralize hesitation. Remember that perfection is not required, persistence is. Deadlines are powerful precisely because they create pressure, but they are not prison bars. If life throws a genuine crisis in your path, adjust with intention. Move the date, revise the milestone, but never abandon the ultimate goal unless it truly no longer serves you. Flexibility is strength, not weakness, when guided by purpose. Behind all these tactics lies a deeper principle, identity. You do not merely want to achieve a goal, you want to become the kind of person who achieves such goals consistently. A runner trains not just to finish one race but to embody the identity of an athlete. A writer writes not just to publish a book but to live as a creator. When your goal aligns with a chosen identity, every action reinforces who you are becoming. Deadlines then become milestones in the story of your life, each one a proof of transformation. Consider a practical example. Imagine your ambition is to launch an online business within 1 year. Start with the destination. I will launch a profitable e-commerce store selling eco-friendly home goods by September 1st next year, generating at least $5,000 in monthly revenue by December. Next, break it down, market research complete by November, supplier agreements by January, website prototype by March, marketing plan by April, soft launch by June. Assign dates to each and record them publicly. Build systems, daily research hours, weekly outreach to suppliers, bi-weekly testing of website functionality. Track metrics, email list growth, product cost analysis, early customer feedback. Share progress with an accountability partner every Monday. When obstacles appear, delayed shipments, unexpected competition, adjust tactics but keep the September deadline sacred. This process transforms a vague desire into a living, breathing project with unstoppable momentum. The psychology of deadlines works because it taps into our primal wiring. Early humans who ignored time constraints, like the approaching winter or the ripening of crops, did not survive. Our brains evolved to respond to urgency with heightened focus and energy. By setting deliberate deadlines, you harness that ancient mechanism for modern success. It is not stress for stress's sake, it is the strategic creation of a challenge that calls forth your highest capabilities. As you practice this discipline, you will notice a shift. Days become purposeful. Decisions gain clarity. The question is no longer do I feel like working on my goal? But what is today's scheduled action toward the deadline? Motivation becomes less about mood and more about commitment. And with each met deadline, confidence grows. You start to believe, deeply, that you can shape reality, because you have done so repeatedly. Start of Part 2, continues seamlessly. Momentum is a living force. Once you have crossed the first few milestones and tasted the satisfaction of meeting deadlines, you begin to experience what psychologists call the progress principle. Small, Visible progress releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter that fuels further effort and reinforces the habit of consistent action. This is why it is critical to celebrate incremental wins. Do not wait for the grand finale to feel proud. Each completed step, sending the proposal, finishing a draft, hitting a weekly sales target, deserves recognition. These moments of celebration strengthen the neural pathways that connect effort with reward, making discipline feel natural instead of forced. However, as progress builds, so does complexity. Bigger goals invite larger obstacles. Perhaps your workload expands, unexpected responsibilities intrude, or fatigue sets in. This is when many people abandon their deadlines. To counter this, employ a strategy known as time blocking. Dedicate specific, non-negotiable blocks of time on your calendar to the tasks that matter most. Treat these blocks as appointments with destiny. If you have committed to write from 6 to 8 every morning, that time is sacred. Protect it from distractions just as fiercely as you would a meeting with your most important client. By defending your time, you defend your dream. Another essential tactic is the weekly review. Set aside a fixed moment, perhaps Sunday evening, to examine your progress. Ask yourself, did I meet last week's milestones? What obstacles emerged? How will I adjust this week? This simple ritual keeps your goals alive in your conscious mind and prevents the slow drift into forgetfulness that kills ambition. It also allows you to identify patterns. Perhaps you consistently underestimate how long certain tasks take. Perhaps certain times of day yield higher productivity. Use this data to refine your plan and sharpen your deadlines. A powerful complement to the weekly review is visualization. Each morning, close your eyes and picture the goal already achieved. Feel the emotions, the pride, the relief, the joy. Neuroscientific studies show that mental rehearsal activates the same neural circuits as physical action, priming your brain for success. Visualization is not a mystical trick, it is mental training. Athletes use it to enhance performance, and you can use it to anchor your daily effort to a vivid future. Still, there will be days when willpower seems absent. Here, habits become your lifeline. Habits remove the need for constant motivation because they operate on autopilot. Build routines around your deadlines. If your aim is financial independence, automate your savings so that a percentage of income transfers to an investment account every payday. If your aim is physical fitness, lay out your workout clothes the night before. Make the desired action the path of least resistance. Over time, these routines become as natural as brushing your teeth, and progress continues even when enthusiasm fluctuates. Consider also the importance of environment. Your surroundings can either support or sabotage your goals. A cluttered workspace breeds distraction, a circle of unambitious friends drains energy. Curate an environment that whispers reminders of your purpose. Post your key deadline where you see it daily. Keep tools and materials within easy reach. Seek out communities, online or offline, where members share similar ambitions. Energy is contagious. Immerse yourself in circles that elevate rather than diminish your drive. One of the greatest tests will be setbacks. Perhaps a project fails, a market changes, or a personal crisis erupts. In those moments, remember that a deadline is a compass, not a chain. The key is to respond, not retreat. Ask 3 questions. What is still within my control? What lesson can I extract? What is the next smallest step I can take today? Resilience is not the absence of hardship but the refusal to surrender to it. Treat every obstacle as training, every delay as feedback. Adjust the path if necessary, but keep the vision intact. As you refine your approach, you may discover the concept of lead and lag measures. A lag measure is the final result, losing 20 pounds, earning a specific income, completing a book. A lead measure is the daily action that drives that result, calories consumed, sales calls made, words written. Focus on lead measures because they are controllable. You cannot command the scale to drop, but you can control your meals and workouts. You cannot force a promotion, but you can increase your value and complete key projects. Track these lead measures relentlessly, and the lag measures will follow. Equally important is the practice of reflection. At significant milestones, pause and examine not just what you achieved but who you became. Goals are not merely about external outcomes, they are vehicles for internal evolution. Ask yourself, am I more disciplined, more patient, more courageous than when I began? Have I strengthened my character as well as my resume? This perspective transforms goal setting from a mechanical exercise into a journey of personal mastery. Let's ground this philosophy with another vivid example. Imagine someone determined to run their first marathon within 12 months. They set the deadline, race day next October. They break it down, build base mileage by January, complete a half marathon by May, peak training by August. They schedule 4 runs each week and block those times in the calendar. They join a running club for accountability and log every mile in a training app. When injuries threaten progress, they adjust by cross-training and seeking expert advice, but they never lose sight of the October deadline. On race day, as they cross the finish line, the medal is not the only reward. The true victory lies in the discipline forged over hundreds of early mornings and countless miles. Deadlines also teach the art of saying no. Every yes to distraction is a no to your dream. As your schedule fills with purposeful work, you will need to decline invitations, limit entertainment, and sometimes disappoint others. This is not selfishness, it is stewardship of your finite time. Learn to value each hour as a currency you spend only on what moves you toward your vision. Technology can be both a friend and a foe in this journey. Use it wisely. Digital calendars, project management apps, and habit trackers can provide structure and reminders. But endless notifications and social media scrolling can fracture your focus. Consider digital minimalism, turn off non-essential alerts, set specific windows for email and social media, and protect deep work sessions from interruption. Master technology or it will master you. Financial goals deserve special attention because money touches every part of life. Whether your aim is to save for a home, eliminate debt, or build an investment portfolio, deadlines bring clarity. Decide the exact amount and the precise date. Create a budget that aligns with that timeline. Automate transfers so that saving happens without daily decision making. Track progress weekly. Celebrate each $1,000 saved as a milestone. Over time, these small disciplined actions compound into life-changing wealth. Relationships, too, benefit from goal setting with deadlines. You might set a goal to strengthen your marriage by scheduling a weekly date night for the next 6 months, or to reconnect with an old friend by arranging a visit before a specific month ends. Love and friendship thrive on intentional effort, and deadlines ensure that good intentions become shared experiences. Another domain is skill acquisition. Suppose you want to learn a new language in a year. Set the deadline, conversational fluency by next September. Break it down, complete beginner course by December, intermediate by April, advanced by July. Establish daily study habits, 30 minutes of practice every morning. Use apps to track vocabulary growth and schedule periodic language exchanges. The steady march of deadlines turns a vague desire into a tangible ability. As you deepen your practice, you may notice a subtle but profound shift, the merger of ambition and serenity. At first, deadlines may feel like pressure, but over time they become a liberation. They free you from indecision and drift. You wake knowing exactly what to do and when to do it. Each action, no matter how small, carries meaning because it serves a purpose larger than the moment. The ultimate aim is not merely to check boxes but to live a life of chosen direction. Many people spend years reacting to circumstances, but you are learning to create circumstances. Each goal you set and meet with a deadline strengthens the belief that you are the author of your story. This belief, once internalized, is unshakable. You will approach new challenges not with anxiety but with quiet confidence, knowing that you possess a reliable method: define, plan, schedule, act, review, adjust, and persist. Now, as you approach the final stage of mastering goal achievement with deadlines, it is time to understand the power of reflection, adaptation, and reinforcement. Setting goals is only the first step. Meeting deadlines requires an unrelenting cycle of action, review, and recalibration. Think of your plan as a living organism, not a static document. Each week, each month, each milestone offers feedback. Did your strategy work? Did a particular approach accelerate progress or slow it? Use this intelligence to adjust, refine, and enhance your methods without abandoning the vision itself. Equally critical is the cultivation of resilience. Obstacles are inevitable. Projects will fail, plans will collapse, unexpected events will appear. It is the individual who can persevere through uncertainty who ultimately succeeds. Develop mental toughness by reframing setbacks as information rather than punishment. Ask yourself, what is the lesson here? How can I pivot without losing momentum? Resilience is not a trait you are born with, it is a skill developed through repeated exposure to challenges under deliberate constraints. Deadlines, in this sense, are both the crucible and the teacher. They force you to confront reality and discover solutions under pressure. Accountability also matures over time. Initially, you may rely on friends, mentors, or colleagues to monitor progress. But the true mastery of deadlines comes when you internalize the role of overseer. Begin keeping meticulous logs of daily actions, weekly summaries, and monthly results. Review these logs honestly, celebrating accomplishments and confronting failures without self-deception. This internal accountability transforms deadlines from external pressures into personal commitments, forging a sense of integrity that permeates all aspects of life. Time management becomes a critical lever. As your goals grow in scale, you must learn to prioritize ruthlessly. Use the 80-20 principle, identify the 20% of actions that generate 80% of results and focus your energy there. Delegate, eliminate, or postpone tasks that do not serve your core objectives. Your schedule is finite, and every hour misallocated is a lost opportunity. Treat time as the most valuable currency you possess. Protect it, allocate it with precision, and never spend it carelessly. Another essential principle is environmental alignment. Your surroundings, tools, and relationships must support your goals. Remove distractions that consume time and energy. Create spaces that enhance focus. Surround yourself with individuals who embody the discipline, ambition, and mindset you aspire to achieve. Energy is contagious. Align your environment to reinforce the behaviors required to meet deadlines. This is the invisible architecture that sustains long-term achievement. The psychology of reward and consequence is equally vital. While intrinsic motivation is powerful, extrinsic reinforcement amplifies performance. Set up a system of rewards for milestones achieved, small celebrations, meaningful purchases, or symbolic gestures that reinforce progress. Conversely, establish consequences for missed deadlines or ignored actions, donate to a cause you oppose, complete an extra task, or accept accountability publicly. These mechanisms harness behavioral psychology to ensure consistency and persistence. Integration of multiple goals requires orchestration. Life is multidimensional: career, health, finances, relationships, personal growth. Deadlines must coexist without creating chaos. Use a master calendar or planning system to visualize all commitments. Balance urgency with sustainability. Recognize interdependencies. Progress in one domain may accelerate or impede another. The most effective goal achievers do not scatter energy randomly. They sequence, prioritize, and harmonize pursuits in alignment with their ultimate vision. Visualization and mental rehearsal remain indispensable. Before each week begins, mentally walk through critical tasks. Envision potential challenges and rehearse responses. This practice primes your mind for action and reduces hesitation when obstacles appear. It also strengthens emotional engagement with the outcome. The brain reacts to vividly imagined success as if it were real, aligning subconscious behavior with conscious intention. Elite performers across sports, business, and the arts employ this technique, it is equally potent for anyone committed to goal mastery. As deadlines approach, focus intensifies. The final stretch often demands peak performance. Here, the principle of chunking becomes invaluable. Break overwhelming tasks into manageable segments, each with its own mini-deadline. By concentrating on one actionable step at a time, the mind remains engaged without feeling paralyzed by scale. This micro-deadline strategy ensures momentum remains uninterrupted, even under extreme pressure. Embrace the inevitability of imperfection. Goals are rarely achieved in a perfectly linear trajectory. Detours, errors, and inefficiencies will arise. Accept these as part of the process. The critical factor is adherence to the overall timeline and commitment to corrective action. Adjust strategies, refine tactics, and continue forward. Persistence in the presence of imperfection distinguishes those who ultimately succeed from those who falter. Develop rituals that reinforce daily action. Consistency is the bridge between intention and accomplishment. Rituals anchor effort, reducing reliance on fluctuating motivation. Examples include morning planning sessions, evening reflection journals, habit stacking with pre-existing routines, or dedicated focus blocks protected from distraction. These rituals build a framework within which goals are naturally pursued and deadlines respected. Leverage feedback loops for continuous improvement. Seek external input from mentors, peers, or professionals. Analyze outcomes against expectations, noting both successes and failures. Ask, what worked? What failed? Why? How can I replicate or improve next time? Feedback, both internal and external, accelerates learning and refines execution, making goal achievement increasingly efficient and reliable. Account for energy management. Deadlines create urgency, but human capacity is finite. Align tasks with periods of peak cognitive or physical performance. Schedule demanding work during high-energy windows and reserve lower-energy periods for administrative or routine tasks. Sleep, nutrition, exercise, and mental well-being are not secondary concerns, they are enablers of sustained execution. Treat your body and mind as critical infrastructure for achievement. Finally, internalize the philosophy that goals with deadlines are not merely objectives, they are instruments of personal transformation. Each goal achieved strengthens confidence, discipline, and the ability to navigate complexity. Each failure teaches lessons, builds resilience, and deepens understanding. By repeatedly engaging in the cycle of defining, planning, executing, reviewing, and adjusting within deadlines, you construct a life characterized by deliberate creation rather than passive drift. You are no longer a spectator in your own life, you are the architect, engineer, and builder of outcomes. To bring all of this together, let us envision a comprehensive scenario. Suppose you aim to write, publish, and market a non-fiction book within 1 year. Begin with a precise deadline. The book will be available on major platforms by December 31st. Define milestones, research complete by March, outline by April, first draft by July, revisions by October, final edits and publication preparation by December 1st. Break each milestone into actionable steps, daily writing targets, weekly review sessions, peer feedback cycles, editing schedules. Schedule these steps in a calendar with specific hours and dates. Track progress, log achievements, adjust when setbacks occur, and celebrate each milestone. Use accountability partners or public announcements to reinforce commitment. Apply visualization daily, see the book on shelves, feel the pride of readers engaged, imagine the impact you create. Protect focus by curating your environment and blocking distractions. Manage energy strategically, aligning tasks with optimal mental and physical states. And as deadlines are met, internalize not only the accomplishment but the identity of a consistent, disciplined creator. This iterative, deliberate approach ensures that even complex, ambitious goals are achieved with high probability. In conclusion, goal achievement with deadlines is a discipline that combines clarity, structure, accountability, and persistence. It requires mental toughness, meticulous planning, continuous reflection, and relentless action. Deadlines are not constraints, they are catalysts. They transform desire into strategy, action into habit, and effort into tangible results. By mastering this process, you not only accomplish objectives but also cultivate the character, resilience, and confidence necessary for lifelong success. Every goal achieved through this method reinforces the principle, deliberate intention plus disciplined action within a defined time frame equals results. Master this, and you master your life.